What's going on, YouTube? This is Armed Redee coming at you today with a brand new episode of the Gavel Gun Podcast. Now, I see you looking at these awesome threads I have. You see this great flex fit polo and you think, how can I get one of those myself? Well, you're in luck. You see, we've got this brand new collection called the Paradise Collection over on hoondout.com. That's www.hoondout.com. The shirt you see me wearing today is going to be called the Rum Runner's Paradise, and it's part of the Paradise Collection. In this Paradise Collection, we have our famous Miami Vice and Hawaiian style shirts, but we're also adding some of the designs onto our Flex Fit polos. And the Flex Fit polos, they are just the chef's kiss of clothing. Now, in this prominent tropical design, you can very clearly see that we do have elements of the rum bottles. We also have the pineapples, and oh yeah, you can't forget the AK-47s and pineapple grenades. This shirt will be welcome at any event that not only says that you're a man that can handle your own, but it also says that you like to have fun. Now, I feel like I've tried way too hard to sell you stuff and take your hard-earned money, so let's go ahead and jump to the intro and take a look at some of these videos for today.
These boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you.
First of all, let me address this. Come to my attention that some of you may have seen my shorts and seem to think that I'm a bootlicker. First of all, that's not entirely true. Although, let me show you something. I do have a little experience. I would say I'm qualified to comment on the matters at hand. However, it's important to understand that I do not offer a one-sided view. You see, over my 15 years in law enforcement, I developed things called morals and basic understandings of empathy and sympathy, and I didn't like the way that things were going, so I made the decision to get out on my own. I wasn't fired, I didn't get in trouble, I didn't wreck a car like they tried to say I did, but instead, many years ago, I used to work for a department that was on that very patch wall that you just saw, and we had supervisory staff that had enough time on the force that they deserved to be able to sit around and do administrative things. They didn't need to be out on the street working, but instead of putting them in a position where they could be utilized to the most of their effective capabilities, no, they used them as cannon fodder, and they put them on the street as our supervisors, and the supervisors weren't available to do things whenever we needed them. They were there, and they did just enough to get by. I didn't hate these people for the people that they were. I hated them for the job that they did, and I swore that if I ever became that person that came to this job for just a paycheck, that I would get out. I would never ever want to be that guy in a leadership position that people didn't like because he didn't want to be there. And around August of 2021, I became that person. I realized I was showing up to work, doing just the minimal to get by, and going home. And I knew that my community and the people that I worked with and I trusted deserved better. It wasn't until after I got out that I started exploring my options beyond law enforcement, and I never dreamed that I would end up at a but here I am, and now my job is I take the cases that are going to trial, the cases that are going before a judge, and the cases that are going in front of a jury of 12, and I pick apart those case files meticulously because I understand SOPs, I understand policies and procedures. I also understand law. I am just a fresh pair of eyes from a different perspective. And now I get to go through everything, and I get to make sure that the cops, they're doing their job right. I get to make sure that they didn't skip any corners, that all their I's are dotted and their T's are crossed. And it is an invaluable resource, and I love my job. I love doing what I do because it's not an anti-cop thing. It is a the right thing. If you want to be put in a position where you're giving the ability to lead others and the ability to control others, then there needs to be nothing less than your perfectness accepted. I understand that people make mistakes. Problems are going to happen. But when you have so many checks and balances and reports can't even get through with proper grammar and proper spelling, there is a serious breakdown. Because let me tell you, a major case can be overturned by grammatical errors, because grammatical errors lead to much bigger things. But that's for another case, that's for another video, another topic, another day. So now that I've given you a little rundown of who I am, where I come from, and why I'm here, let's go ahead and jump into the topic today. Now, I've got about 5 videos altogether. They average about 2.5 apiece, but the first 2 we're going to jump through really quick, because the first one shows a scenario which the general public might think is normal, and the second video is going to cover something that shows something that the general public might think is out of the ordinary. The last 3 we're going to cover in full, and those will give examples as to why the first 2 might not be what they appear. So as I said, we're on Redee's Reel Footage Locker over here. You can @ Redee's Reels. This is my second channel. All of these videos, as I said, are available on this channel. All of the credits are on the videos themselves. So let's go ahead and jump into the first video. This here is an individual who actually stabbed his father, and there was a short confrontation after, and the individual ends up shot and killed by police. But let's view how quickly this happens.
Drop the knife! I'm gonna shoot you if you rush him with the... Drop the knife!
Sir! Get over here!
Drop the knife!
One shot, straight dead. Straight to the ground, no questions asked. As we saw, the guy charged the officer with the knife in his hand, and the officer fired one shot. That shot hit its target center mass and immediately stopped that threat. That may not seem like anything out of the ordinary. If an officer does have to shoot an individual, this would be the most preferred way it would happen. One shot stopped the threat, individual survives. However, I don't know if that boy survived or not. I'm not for sure. Let's look at the other video and see why that may look a little out of the ordinary to you. Would you ever think there's a justifiable reason for an officer to shoot a man running away in the back? Even if he just shot at the police officers? Well, guess what? He did. And he hit his target. So there we have 2 situations which you may be all too familiar with. The first one, an individual is shot once and he immediately goes down and the threat is ended. The second one, he is running away from police officers and he's shot in the back and killed. How could this be justifiable? How could this be possible? Well, we're going to jump into that video and I'm going to show you just how dangerous people can be even if they've been shot. This first video is body cam courtesy of NYPD, and it shows us a response to a domestic situation that they were called to. Now, I do know that as they were responding to the call, whether they heard shots or were told that there were shots fired, they knew that there was a gun involved. This video is quick, it's 29 seconds. Let's go ahead and see what exactly happens after he engages officers with the firearm. Very quick.
Stop shooting! Stop shooting!
Very quick
Stop
video.
shooting!
But here we see a little bit more. The officers are going to be up here. Here's your suspect. He's shooting, bang. He's hit in the leg. It is very, very important to see that. Let's back up. It looks like he's hit in the leg from his left, from the left of the screen. You'll see his leg buckle. Either way, he is shot and he is down, but he is not out of the fight. Alright, so here we go. I think this officer here shoots him, hits him in the leg. However, he continues to fire, rolls over, gun jams. He clears his jam and still continues to fire. Why did they shoot him 50 times? Why did the officers have to shoot him so much? Well, here's the least exaggerated form, and it's just one form we're going to view today. Wait till you get to the third one. The second video takes us to body cam courtesy of LAPD. Apparently, they received a 911 call that there was a homeless man in an alleyway waving a gun around. The uploaded video is about 3.5 minutes long, but we only need about the first minute or so. So let's go ahead and hop on over and jump into that video.
Right there.
I'm going to let it play through. They pull into the alley and they immediately see this guy with the firearm.
Hey, oh, fuck. Hey,
Yep.
let me see your hand. Let me see your hand. Drop it. Drop it. Drop it. Drop the gun, dude.
Does he drop the gun?
1881, let me get a backup. Working around with the gun.
No, he doesn't.
Get on the ground.
Not at
Get on the
first.
ground.
See, one shot, two shots. This guy is shot twice.
Get on the ground.
He has dropped the gun, and he's on the ground. Why would they need to shoot him anymore? What could possibly? Oh, he got up. Can you believe it? They shot him twice, and he stood up.
Get on the ground. Hey, get covered.
He is struggling. He is not a threat to them at this moment. He does not have the gun.
Hey, get on the ground. Hey, he dropped the gun.
He dropped the gun. See, they're good. They're not going to shoot him in the back as he's running away because he's not a threat to anyone. They have the gun. This is the other officer's body cam. I think he's already shot. We're going to see him run here.
Let go of it. Let go of it.
Oh, no. One shot.
Drop the gun.
Two shots.
Get on the ground. Get on the go on the
Now, luckily, he did not pick that gun up and continue to use it against the officers or anybody in the public.
Turn around, face that way.
But it's very easy to see that he was very, very capable of continuing to inflict harm on himself, the officers, or the general public.
He's away from the gun. Hey, don't
So
run.
ask
Stay right
yourself,
there. Stay right
if
there.
he had that gun and walked around the corner and started shooting, what would you have wanted the officers to do? And you can't say that's an exaggeration because
Let me see your hand. Let me see
it's
your hand.
America.
Turn around. Let me see your hand.
have you seen the things that people do around here with guns? So that individual was captured. He was in critical but stable condition. Last the report was on it, and it said he was expected to survive. However, he was shot twice and he continued to run. Now this next guy is just the pinnacle of the video. So apparently this happened in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and I'm not even sure of the situation as what led up to the police officer contact, but we'll watch the entire video for what it's worth, and you will see that he has a box cutter. He tells the officer that he has a box cutter, and then things go haywire. If he was involved in anything illegal, I do believe that he was saying the knife was in his pocket in an attempt to get the officer to not search him, but whenever he realized that this officer is going to search him, he then realized, I've got to do something. That's pure speculation on my part, only from my past experience. There is no telling what's going on. There are no specific details, but let's watch just how far an individual can go after being shot multiple times. So this video is edited by Grand Rapids Police Department. It seems that they had a call for an assault. This individual was a suspect.
Take your hand out of your pocket.
He said, "Do I have to?" The subject indicated the box cutter was located in his left pocket. The subject runs towards the officer, who shoots the approaching subject.
No, I'm going to check you for weapons, though.
I have one.
Don't touch anything. What do you have?
A box cutter.
Keep your hand on top of your head. Turn around and face the wall. Face the fence.
Are you going to search me?
Yeah, I'm going to take your box cutter away from you.
See, and this is why I
Don't
said
touch
it's
it.
very
I'm gonna
possible
take
that he had
Sure, put
something
your hands in the
illegal
fence.
on him that he didn't want the officer to find. That's why telling him, "Hey, I have a box
17,
cutter." Oh, okay. Well, you're not going to hurt me with the
Don't
box
put your hand
cutter
in
if
your
you
pocket.
if you tell me you have it. Again, that's just speculation
Guy's got a
and
box
experience
cutter.
on my part.
I've got a drawn down on him. We're in the north alley of Lion. Just keep your hands in your face.
Now, in this situation, you would wait there with him at gunpoint until a second officer got there.
You're going to get shot!
The reason why you would wait for a second officer to get there is because you would not want this happening as after you've holstered your gun and you have handcuffs in your hand and you're approaching him, because the most dangerous a knife can be is when it's up close to you. And the last thing you want to do is get that close to a guy who you think is going to hurt you, who has a knife in his hand.
Hey, what? Do it!
See, he just pulled the cutter out. See, no
You're going to
cut.
get shot!
Maybe.
What? Do it!
It looks like he pulls it out there.
Stop, please!
3 shots.
Finally.
Remember that. We've called for backup. We have backup
17
coming.
to 16,
This guy
shots
attacked
fired,
you,
shots fired.
and you just
I got
fired
one
3
suspect
shots,
down.
center mass. Okay, so maybe he did have the box cutter out the entire time. This is going to be once backup gets here.
Careful. This is the moment when the supposedly dead killer comes back to life.
Where's it at? Somewhere on the ground.
Hey, get back!
And guess what he does?
Watch crossfire, watch crossfire.
Box cutters on the ground. Get less lethal.
So we have established that he dropped the knife.
Taser. Wait.
Yep.
Hang on.
This guy's been shot 3 times. Remember this. Remember this.
Eastbound on the alley.
Not only has he been shot 3 times, but he just went into somebody's home. He just went into somebody's home. Now I want you to picture it's Sunday afternoon. No, this is a Saturday morning. 8:45 a.m. on a Saturday morning. You're eating your cereal, watching your Saturday morning cartoons, when all of a sudden this methamphetamine-looking drug user guy comes barreling in your back door with 3 bullet holes in him. This isn't made-up scenarios. This is on video. An individual shot 3 times, woke from the dead, ran down the street, and ran into somebody's back door. Luckily, this is like a storage area, and the officer will even say, I don't think he can access the interior of the house. That doesn't matter to me. That is way too close to my back door for me to be comfortable. This is where it gets interesting. You'll see that they actually see him in here, and
Down on the ground.
this is obvious suicide by cop at this point.
All right.
You can't get anywhere other than out here.
All right.
Gonna go less lethal.
Yep.
Get down! Get down on the ground!
See, that's why I say this is like a storage area, I think, but still way too close to my back
You
door.
can't get anywhere other than out here. You're gonna go less lethal? I got it. Get down,
Remember
do
that.
it
I
now.
got it.
Get down! Get down! Do it
There was
now!
a lot of crossfire issues there.
Down!
All of this editing is in the original video upload, by the way. And that brings us to the end of another episode of the Gavel Gun Podcast. Today, we kind of dove into some challenging situations faced by law enforcement, situations that may often appear controversial at first glance. But as we've broken down these videos, it's clear that an understanding of the full context is crucial before we make any kind of a judgment. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us today. Your engagement and willingness to explore these complex issues is what makes all the difference. If you found today's episode enlightening and believe in what we're doing here, there's a simple and free way that you can support us. Just hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that bell for the notifications. Your support helps us grow and keeps this conversation going. But let's not just stop there. Let's keep the dialogue alive. Drop your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Agree, disagree, or share your perspectives. Every voice matters in building an understanding and bridging the gap between the public and law enforcement officers. Now remember, Gavel and Gun, we air twice a week, and we bring you thought-provoking discussions on police-related and other first responder issues that matter. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and let's work together towards a better understanding and cooperation. Take care. Peace out.
The Second Amendment is so obvious to me, it's insane that there's an argument. I don't need a document, and I don't need another man to explain to me that I have the right to defend my gift of life. They will dictate where, how, and if I can defend myself. I find that preposterous. I find it unacceptable, and I will not accept it. I am a free man. Don't tread on me.